first 9 years, he wasn't even given running water. They had a bucket utilized for the bathroom and others. And among them, and I'm very appreciative, is one of my favorite colleagues that works long time, Washington insider that currently works with Senator Cruz, and he and others have been helping with the Citgo 6. The Venezuelans were trying to help. They've been there 3 years. In the first 9 years, he did not have water, running water. As you can see, you'll see in a moment from the exhibit, for the first 6 months, he was allowed 1 letter, 500 words, and it was absolutely scrutinized and not always even delivered. During his confinement, his mother and son passed away. He was not allowed to go to the funeral. Query, how did some of these letters and some of it came to light? At least some of it, through 1971, mysteriously 3 books. What he would do is he would author a letter and then he would write it so smart in these books. Well, 3 of the books are missing in 1971. They're delivered in 2004 to the Nelson Mandela Foundation by a policeman and says, I'm donating these. You'll be able to stand in front of a giant 22-foot long by 9-foot tall armored vehicle. Well, that was used against the riots. You'll see a secret venue for freedom fighters forced underground. The exhibit is divided into 5 zones: apartheid, defiance, repression, mobilization, and freedom. I'm so glad we end on a high because this is rather morose. Don't miss the interactive visuals and the demonstrative work that history has accomplished. You'll see the dramatic replica of his 8-foot by 7-foot prison cell. And when you enter, you'll see it becomes a digital theater whose walls tell the story of the repression and the resilience. You won't miss, there's many lawyers in the room, the wall of laws, based solely on skin color. You have artifacts of the police riot, the tulips of hard labor, the letters he authored, the segregated signs. They take your breath away. And it gives you a real evidence of how things were then and how deep the racism was. Don't miss, there's a famous, his first TV interview, 1961. All right, remember, in 1952, he had already said he's going to be president. And you watch him in 1961, he's ready. And it's evident, he's ready. Underground, don't miss it, it's unbelievable. A litany of things I could say. One of the things my coach here said so beautifully in terms of, at the end, there is the hope. There is the reconciliation. I was speaking with the Dean of U of H Law School, Dean Baines, and he said it so beautifully just prior. And he said that what the impact is his ability to forgive. And it's absolutely fascinating. Be cognizant that if you want, after the Mandela exhibit, there's the bearing witness exhibit. Let me tell you a couple of things about this. If you come back, you need to see this. 2 of the museum's largest artifacts are there. They were once displayed outside. Don't miss them. One is, it's relocated and ensconced in the Bearing Witness Gallery. What are they? Once is the famous replica of a 5-ton rescue boat, like the ones that the Danish fishermen used at night to ferry back and forth, fleeing Jews to neutral territory. You'll see where they had to be placed. And then the other is, this one is quite sobering, a 10.5-ton World War II rail car. The type used to carry thousands of Jews and other victims to concentration camps. You'll see also you can have virtual conversations with Holocaust survivors. And I will tell you, one of my the deepest and toughest Latina Voices shows I ever did was for the 70th anniversary of Auschwitz. I interviewed one of the most amazing Holocaust survivors that lives in Houston, and she was a childhood survivor. And she was on the last train that went to Auschwitz, but she was liberated. You can see her dress here, her dress when she was quite young, and she's lived to tell the story. I'm almost done, just two things. As I was contemplating the pandemic, I was just trying to make sure I wasn't missing anything that I needed to make sure to tell you, the nerd in me for President Mandela, and there's so much to say. But as I just pulled up for a moment, this is a little sobering. Cincy Mandela, South Africa's ambassador to Denmark, and his daughter, the daughter to Nelson and Winnie Mandela, tested positive for COVID on the day she passed. So she passed this summer, not even 60. Some of you were kind enough to attend last year when I did a reception for a civil rights exhibit. And I said words that were very true then for me, and I think are even more needed today. I very much like the expression in Judaism. Admittedly, my vocabulary is limited, but I'm interested in growing with it. And it's tikkun olam. The Jewish concept defined by an act of kindness, where you're trying to repair or perfect the world. I would say to all of us as we commence the holidays, let's really focus on what we can each individually do. That extra little kindness, the extra taking of the smile, the responding to the call, the extra 3 minutes on that Zoom if the meeting goes flat and you know someone really prepared, say to them, it actually was pretty good, even if it wasn't. So here's to continue Tikkun Olam as we approach these atypical holidays, and we start tonight as we take a moment of kindness that I know we all have. I know almost every one of you reasonably, if not very well, and we educate and ideally repair. We must never forget, we cannot forget everything that transpired with the Holocaust. We must never be bystanders, but upstanders. Thank you for indulging me as you stood and listened. Welcome to really what's your museum. It's our museum and our Museum for Humanity. I'll turn it to my co-chair to lead us now as we get the luxury. I'm honored that you came. I know it's not easy, and I wish you much success, and take it all in. He was an incredible man, and there's so much to learn. Thank you.
She should get another degree in museum studies. She really loves it. But thank you very, very much for bringing everyone together. We love you, Sofia. That is why we nominated you for this very, very important award, and you are so well deserved. So I wanted to remind everyone that this is the recipient of the Hispanic, and what's the full name on it? The Comcast Hispanic Hero. Hero is very appropriate for her, would you say? Award recipient. So thank you, and a round of applause to you, Sophia. I wanted to also tell you that you have definitely given to us a mitzvah, and I know you know what that means, and that means a good deed tonight by bringing all of these people into the museum to see us, meet us, and see this incredible exhibition. So I welcome you, thank you so much, and what we're going to do is we're going to take groups of about 25, and we'll start over here in Mandela, and then after we get through a little bit more space, we'll bring in the second group. So if we could start to the right, and Joseph.
Hola Sofía, ¿cómo estás?
Muchísimas gracias por estar acá en este museo, realmente un museo para toda la gente, un museo obviamente con historia, pero que te da esperanza.
Estamos muy contentos y muy emocionados por la historia que ahorita el museo está poniendo la galería. y tú eres parte de eso. Cuéntanos, ¿cómo es que te integras a esta galería y por qué Mandela?
Qué increíble. Bueno, la historia de Mandela es realmente impactante. Es alguien que, bueno, nació hace más de 100 años, pero hay que pensar que no importa tu edad, lo conoces a Mandela. Es una persona que vio derechos que estaban, cosas que no estaban correctas, leyes que no estaban bien aplicadas. Había un sistema para un grupo de gente y un sistema para otro. Y dijo, esto no puede ser. Y lo increíble de la historia de él, desde muy joven, hay que pensar que no llegó hasta 1990 a salir de prisión después de 27 años, más de 10.000 días en una cárcel. Pero, aunque eso fue después de 1990 y después fue presidente y después 93-94 le dieron el Nobel Peace Prize. En 1952, cuando estaba haciendo como hacemos nosotros, haciendo actividades en la comunidad, alguna cosita, cómo podemos hacer si algo no está justo. En 1952, él dijo, yo voy a ser la primera persona, the first black African American president de South Africa. Dijo eso. En 1964, cuando estaba en un pleito que terminó, que estuvo en la cárcel 27 años, él dijo, yo quiero que sea la justicia, yo quiero que las cosas sean iguales para todos. Y si me tengo que morir por eso, me muero. Eso fue en 64. Y después se pasa, lo agarran, 27 años y sale. Pero sale, lo increíble es, si nos acordamos de su historia, él salió con ganas de unificó South Africa, unificó el país. ¿Se acuerdan esa famosa oportunidad que jugaron al rugby y ganaron? Y estaba con ellos. Y un deporte que tradicionalmente era solamente para la gente blanca. Y si ves, es importante ver esta oportunidad acá en lo que se está demostrando en este museo, porque se ve también lo que cuesta hacer todo esto. Cuando hay las protestas, lo que hace la gente, lo que tiene que sufrir, lo que tiene que sacrificar. Pero también lo que te demuestra que es muy positivo es que la acción de una persona puede cambiar el mundo. Obviamente fue años de esfuerzos y lo interesante que escuchás es increíblemente chico donde él estaba físicamente. Pero ¿qué hacía? ¿Cómo tenemos las cartas que se mandaron o por ahí no? Porque él hacía una réplica de cada carta. Y libros desaparecieron, pero después en el 2004 un policía le devolvió a la fundación los libros.
Así es, te escuchamos en el micrófono cómo nos contabas esta historia.
Sí.
Y perdón que te lo diga, pero me considero un ignorante porque no sabía yo la historia tan crucial de este hombre y ahora la gente lo puede saber.
Oh, lo aprecio muchísimo. No te sientes ignorante, nos pasan a todos. Porque la pura verdad, lo positivo es que mucha gente no se acuerda del apartheid, porque esto fue en los 90s y mucho antes de todo. Y obviamente esto es muy importante también. Desde los 27 años que él estaba en la cárcel, no podía sacar una foto de él. Entonces no se veía fotos. Por eso esa foto horas después, y horas después que sale en Cape Town, en esa foto famosa de 1990, dice la misma palabra que dijo en el 64, que quería unir, pero que si tenía que pelear por su gente, que estaba dispuesto a morir.
Así es. Y bueno, ahora es una oportunidad para toda la gente puede venir al museo. Por favor, invítanos.
Sí,
¿Dónde está
por
el
favor,
museo? Está en español.
Muchísimas gracias. La realidad, Jesús, que este es el primer museo bilingüe de todo Estados Unidos, castellano e inglés, español e inglés. Entonces se puede ver todo en castellano e inglés. Bueno, justo acá estamos viendo una quotation de Margaret Mead que dice, nunca dudes que un pequeño grupo de ciudadanos pensantes y comprometidos pueden cambiar el mundo. De hecho, son los únicos que lo han logrado. Estoy leyendo de la pared. Entonces, el Holocaust Museum muy cerca de donde está The Children's Museum y también donde está el Museo de Bellas Artes. Por ahora, por COVID, me parece que tenés que registrarte para venir, pero hay días que me parece que son gratis, se puede averiguar. Y por favor, si sos maestra, si hay un grupo, están dispuestos, se puede averiguar, se puede pedir. Rocío Rubio, que está también involucrada, por favor visiten. Y si no pueden visitar, que entiendo por ahí no se puede, busquen Mandela y Holocaust Museum, pongan en el Google y va a salir información, pueden leer. Hasta hay un YouTube video con el presidente del museo propiamente en South Africa, en Johannesburg. Él les cuenta la historia de Mandela. No todos tenemos la oportunidad de venir. Si pueden, vengan. Si no pueden, no se preocupen, pero embarquen en la historia, porque es una historia dura, pero con esperanza, y nos hace acordar. Vos muy simpático me hicimos una entrevista que yo hablé de si se puede, con ganas, y se puede lograr.
Así es.
Muchísimas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Sofía, estamos muy contentos y vamos a poner toda la información en las pantallas del museo, también tu información. Nuevamente agradecido por tu tiempo y nuevamente felicidades por tu premio.
No, muchísimas gracias, un honor. Muchas gracias, Jesús.
Hasta luego.
We were about to make it.